Trump just paused instituting 25% tariffs on America's two largest trading partners, Canada and Mexico, due to the sell-off that happened in the markets in the last several days. But he did implement 10% tariffs on China that started on February 1st, 2025. Initially, I created this video with the premise that these tariffs had already been implemented, but Trump backed down and said he will pause them for 1 month. So I still think it is important for us to see how much these tariffs on our two largest trading partners will impact the average American. And in concomitance with these new tariffs, Axios published an article titled "Trump Tariffs Will Cost U.S. Households $830 a Year," a study says. Now, this is unsurprising if you're familiar with how tariffs affect economic output, and helps to show how hollow Trump's promises were during his campaign to bring down prices for people. But the article raises some good points, so I thought it'd be worthwhile to spend some time breaking it down and the study it references. The study they reference is from the Tax Foundation, which has been consistently updating its estimates on the impact of the tariffs that President Trump has been promising and officially implemented yesterday. So I'm going to go into more depth to how this contradicts his overall campaign narrative to bring down costs for Americans. But before we dive in, if you enjoy this video and want to support the channel, don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. Your support means a lot, and it also helps promote these progressive messages to the YouTube algorithm, which helps its amplification to reach even more viewers. Planned tariffs could effectively tax the average U.S. household an extra $830 this year, an analysis from the nonpartisan nonprofit Tax Foundation finds. Why it matters? Economists fear the tariffs will be a net negative for households and the broader economy. See, that's pretty common knowledge if you're familiar with how tariffs work in the overall economic debt cycle. But it continues. By the numbers, the foundation estimated Friday that Trump's proposed 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, as well as 10% tariffs on China, would shrink the economic output of the U.S. by 0.4% and increase taxes by $1.2 trillion between 2025 and 2034. So that's a pretty big decreasing effect on economic output. That's on top of recent data showing that tariffs could threaten Americans' economic gains of recent years. And then this article then continues by exploring how not only were these tariffs implemented by Trump, but also furthered by Biden, especially related to Chinese products. So it says, zoom in, the researchers also found that tariffs Trump levied during his previous presidency and which former President Biden enacted during his own have hurt the economy. The Tax Foundation's analysis suggests the first Trump administration imposed nearly $80 billion in new taxes via tariffs between 2018 and 2019. The Biden admin retained most of those tariffs and last May announced tariff hikes on an additional $18 billion of Chinese goods, including semiconductors, which the researchers said amounted to a tax increase of $3.6 billion. Zoom out, the Tax Foundation previously found that both Trump's and Biden's tariffs raised prices, reduced output, lowered employment, and produced a net negative impact on the U.S. economy. In a letter to lawmakers last month, the Congressional Budget Office also estimated that the tariffs would spur price hikes on consumer goods, at least initially, though they added that after 2025, the tariffs would not have any, quote, additional significant effects on prices, end quote. The CBO also noted that poorer households would experience the largest drop in purchasing power. So this is just the people that buy groceries, essentially. So everybody except the top 1%. The bottom line, the ripple effects of Trump's tariffs may seem abstract and far off for many Americans, but that could change quickly. So I wanted to make a video about this because this really shows how Trump's promises to bring down prices were illusory from the beginning, since his tariff policies, which directly countervail any policies or actions to bring down prices, namely his recent efforts to bring down global gas prices by entreating OPEC and other large oil and gas producers to increase their production, thereby lowering prices, like he told Putin to do earlier this week. I did a bit of math to see what the national average price per gallon of gasoline would have to decline to in order to offset this increase of $830 from his tariff policies. Currently, the national average price per gallon is roughly $3.10. The average American drives about 13,500 miles per year. Using an average fuel economy of 25 miles per gallon, this results in the average yearly gas consumption for an American at 540 gallons per year. In order to break even from this estimated increase of $830 a year from Trump's tariffs, the average yearly price per gallon of gasoline for 2025 would need to be $1.56 per gallon, which is almost $1 per gallon cheaper than what the average national gas price was during the 4 years of Trump's first presidential term. This means it is infeasible that Trump's first year of his second term will bring down prices and will, to the contrary, make Americans pay more. Trump's fealty to the fossil fuel industry has quite the advantage in helping him bring down gas prices, but it's highly unlikely that he's going to be able to bring down the national gas price to nearly $1 less per gallon than what he averaged in his first term. But if you're not caught up in the megalomania of Trump and the cultish devotion his base has for him, you'd likely have expected this. Alright, that's it for this time. In summary, Trump looks to have broken his promise of bringing down prices in record time, not even making it 3 weeks into his second term. If you like this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Until next time, stay vigilant, freedom fighters.